All righty, here's your waiver. Be a little careful. I don't know about you, but I have more trash skis around because of the season, so don't want to fall over any of my decor. So just be careful. Put on some fun music and let's have some fun moving together. It might be snowy outside, but warm in here. All right. So we're going to start standing. And we'll find out how quickly that my ears will fall off, which is probably going to be very quickly. All right. So let's start in a little first position, heels together, toes apart. Inhale, breathe your arms up. Exhale, pull them nice and wide. Feel the shoulders slide down and into the spine. And as you breathe, let's start to wake up the belly again. Inhale, breathe up. Exhale, pull the shoulders down and the tail down as well. One more time. Inhale, breathe up. Exhale, pull down. Next one, we're going to inhale, breathe up, and then we'll side bend over to the right. We'll soften the knees a little and roll the spine forward over the legs. Heavy in the hands and head, roll up through the spine, squeezing those inner thighs. Let's try the other side. Inhale, breathe up, side bend to the left. Bend the knees a little, just to accommodate the movement over the legs. Little forward fold and roll up through the spine, squeezing everything to the midline. One more time. So we'll breathe up and over to the right. Soften the knees, swing forward. Heavy hands and head, unwind that spine. Last time, breathe up and over. Soften the knees, sweep forward. Pull all the way up and down. Inhale, breathe your arms up like I have hair attached to my antlers. Palms up, and we're just going to alternate taps to the shoulders. Try not to move the rest of your body. Just really move through the arms. I want to feel the shoulders glide down into their pockets. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to the front of the shoulders. Nice big circles back. For 3, 2, try not to let the ribs arch. Last one, and then we reverse. You just want to wake up the shoulder line. I know some of you might be shoveling later, so I want you nice and warm here. Gorgeous. And then press through your hands. Flip them so they cross and meet palm to palm. And then just sort of soften around your sternum. Bring your chin toward your chest. And stretch from the mid-back up through the center of the shoulders, almost into the cervical spine. One last breath here. And then gently release. Sweep your arms behind your back. Clasp the fingers together like so. Drive the knuckles down. Lift the heart up, but continue to squeeze your inner thighs. Your gaze will tip up just a hair. You want to feel some chest opening and a little upper thoracic extension. One more breath. And then gently release. Shake that out. We're going to come to the back of the mat. Roll down and walk out. Gorgeous. Drop those knees. They should be right under the hips, and we want to feel we're in this little plank prep. We're going to lower to the mat. Stretch the legs long and bring the fingertips toward the shoulder blades. Inhale to float the heart up. Don't press too heavy into the hands. Exhale to lift the belly and lower down. We want to just warm up the upper spine a little more. Inhale, reach away from the body. Exhale, float down. 3 more times. Reach your heart forward, shine forward, and back down. Last 2, you got this. That's it. Keep your ears right over your shoulders. Last one. And release. Keeping the hands under the shoulders, push your way up and back to a little shell just for a breath or 2. Try to melt that tail down toward the heels. Stretch forward with the fingers. Nice lifted elbows. One more breath here. Gorgeous. And then we'll come out to table. We're going to take the right leg and cross it behind the left, so nice and long. Make sure you pull the ribs up a little bit and then turn your gaze left toward that heel. One more breath here. And then come back through center. Lift that right leg and place it in line with the hip and then sweep it out to the right, like you're trying to kick me. Hi. Press firmly in both hands, bend the knee and return it down. Make sure you're in a neutral spine as you stretch your left leg, cross it behind, tuck the toes, turn the gaze toward that heel. Don't let the back arch, right? You want to stay nice and long, a little lift in the belly. Come back through center, lift that leg up in line with the hip, and then sweep it out to the left. Just a breath or two to hold. Gorgeous. One more breath and release. Gorgeous. We're going to come up onto the knees if that works for you. If not, you could sit here, sweeping the arms overhead, and then moving the ribs. Little lateral bends as you reach the arms to the ceiling. Try not to hike too much between shoulders and ears for 3 and 2. Last one. Gorgeous. Release through the heels of the hands. Grab a block if you have one. We're going to place it in between the knees, sitting up nice and tall at the front of the mat. Gorgeous. Bring the hands to the forehead. Inhale, tall. Exhale, tuck the tail under, roll behind the sitting bones. Inhale, hold. Feel your C shape. Exhale, hinge over the legs. And inhale, unwind the spine. 2 more times. Exhale, tuck from the base of the spine. Roll that tail under you. Inhale, hold. Exhale, take your little shape forward toward the knees like a dive. Inhale, elongate through the spine. 1 more time. Exhale, squeeze that block as you tuck behind the sitting bones. Inhale, hold. Exhale, come forward over that block. Inhale, nice and tall through the spine. Release. Release the block. Stretch your left leg long. Hug your right knee in. Inhale, breathe your right arm up and over. A little rotation here. You can use the hand on the opposite knee to grow tall on your inhale. And exhale, twist a little more, maybe even bringing your gaze back over your shoulder. Flex that opposite foot so that it stays alive. And then gently release, switching sides. Long and flex right leg. Hug in the left knee, sit really tall. Left arm seat up and behind. Inhale for length, exhale for twist. 1 more breath here. And gently release. Come back to center. Bring the soles of the feet together. Sit up as tall as you can. And just flutter the knees a little to release the hip. Hopefully you're getting a little warm. For 3 and 2. Last one. And release. Okay, gorgeous. So we're going to bring the chair to face us. And we're going to try to, I have my chair propped up against my fireplace so that it won't go anywhere on me, because we are going to press the feet down here. All right. So let's place the feet on the front of that chair. Arches on the seat. Oh, there go the ears. So from here, you want to find the place where your tail feels really heavy. Gorgeous. And we're just going to tuck the tail and release it long. 3 times. Exhale, scoop and hollow. Inhale, release. Exhale, scoop. Inhale, release. Have your block handy if you could as well. Now this time when we tuck the tail under, we'll keep rolling up through the spine. As we press down through the feet, we equally lift the hips. Now we're going to stay up here and just push the knees apart and together, apart and together. Now here's where I want to feel this work. So I'm squeezing my glutes high and together. I'm not really rolling through my feet too much. I'm just acting like there's some friction in space. For 5 and 4. For 3, you got this. 2. Last one. Now stay here and squeeze it up a tiny bit higher. Really small, controlled. For 8, for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm going to start to roll down through the spine, and when my low back rounds into the mat, I'm going to bring my legs up into the air, flexing the feet. I'm going to push my knees together so they're like knock-kneed, inner thighs touching, and press out to the edges of the foot. Good. Now I'm going to take my block in hand and curl my head and shoulders up over that work. So my leg is like this. Good. Stay and breathe. Really push the squeeze the inner thighs together just as you're pushing the feet apart for 4 and 3, for 2 and 1. Now reach the toes and the block to the ceiling. Pulse up for 8, 7, you have this, 6, 5, slide your ribs down, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn your block and place it between your shins the long way. Hands come behind the head. We're gonna lower, 2, 3, and lift up. I'm not even hitting my chair because if I go too low, my low back is gonna arch. Lower, 2, 3, lift up. Good, squeeze it on that block. Light-headed hands, 2, 3, and up. Let's go 3 more times. 2, 3, and up. Last 2, 2, 3, and up. You have this one more time. 2, 3, and up. Take the block in the hands. Bring the feet to the floor and stretch the legs under the chair if you can. Block overhead. Let's roll up through the spine all the way. Come to sitting. Block between the knees. Tuck that tail under. Float the toes up if you can. Now, as you squeeze the block, swivel the hips so that you're resting on your left side and stretch your arms over your right knee. For 4, for 3, 2, feel the obliques kick in. Last one, come to the center. Make sure you're behind your sitting bones as you squeeze the block and lift to the right. Arms reach less. For 4, you got it. 3, 2, last one, back to center. Hold, lift your heart. For 4, 3, 2, release. Soles of the feet together might feel good again here. I'm gonna put up my hair as we transition. All right, so we're gonna get into the triceps a little bit. You want your weights nearby. Actually, you know what? Yeah, grab your weights. Okay, here we go. Into plank position. So we've got one weight. Let's put it in the right hand. Left hand is under left shoulder. And then I'm going to walk my knees back so I'm in a little bit of a plank. Gorgeous. Now I'm going to try to stay even as I pick up that right weight. Pushing out and pulling in. Out and in. Exhale out. Inhale and keep your shoulder rolling back and down and your elbow lifted. For 4 and 3, 2, hold it long. Little lifts up to the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put that weight down and out of reach. Make a little triangle with your hands under your heart. Spread those knees apart far. All right, we're gonna lower halfway and lift. 5 times. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down. So the elbows go wide, but we're still working the backs of the arms. For 3, because it's narrow. For 2, last one, release to your table. Gorgeous. Weight in the left hand. Right hand under right shoulder. Walk your knees back so you feel like you're in plank. Lift that left arm up, kick it back and pull it in. Keep that wrist nice and long. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it long. Little lifts up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Come to an actual table. We're going to take that right arm, weight in hand, and repeat. Lift up, press out and in. For 5, for 4. A little easier this time without the plank. 3, 2, and 1. This time reach behind you and squeeze into the spine. 8, 7, 6, 5. You've got this. 4, 3, 2. Release it down. Other side. Make sure your belly is lifted. Your shoulders are square. Lift that left arm up, elbow up and behind you. Press out and pull in. 4, 5. Use your exhales. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now hold it up. Squeeze in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Release. Oh my gosh. Weights aside, but nearby. We're going to gonna transition up to our seat for our last little set of tricep dips. So we're gonna scoot ourselves forward. I would suggest knees bent after working so hard. Proud chest, bend your elbows to lower and press up. Good. We've got 8 total, so that's 3. Don't work through the hips. 4, 5, 6, last 2, 7, and 8. Carefully bring yourself back to your chair. Round over your legs. Grasp your opposite elbows and relax the spine. Anyone feel that one? I did. All right, roll on up. We're gonna come to standing. And warm up the spine and get into the belly a little bit. So I'm gonna come off of my mat, but I'm still gonna face the chair of the mat. I'm gonna make sure nothing is in my way, including my reindeer antlers. Quick sip of water and here we go. Okay, so let the back of the chair face you. Give yourself a little space. Couple releves. So we're gonna exhale as we lift, inhale as we lower for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Now we'll lift it up, bend the knees and slide down here. And we'll tuck the tail and release. Tuck and release. You really want to think about warming up the hips and pelvis for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Now drop and lift the heels. Stay in your little chair for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one here. Stand tall. We're going to step back into a lunge. So you want to make sure you're not too far away. Free up your right hand, right leg is back. As we drop the right knee, we'll open to the right and come forward. Inhale to open, exhale to close. Turn your ribs. For 3. Good, and 2. Last one, and release. Step your left foot back, nice and wide, flat back strap. And switch your weight from shoulder to shoulder. Little rainbow with the heart. Gorgeous. Now walk your feet back into parallel, but stay round. Nice and round and lift and lower those heels. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Come on up. Left leg comes back for lunge. Make sure right knee's right over that right heel. Open up as you drop the knee left. Close it back to parallel. Inhale, turn and drop. Exhale, lengthen and come back. Last 3. And 2, drop and twist. Last one. Gorgeous. Come back to center. Bring your inner thighs together, heels together, toes apart. Couple lifts here, up and down. Squeeze from your heels up to your pubic bone together, including your glutes. For 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Now lift, bring those heels together, slide down that imaginary wall, tuck and release. To rolling the tail underneath you. For 5, for 4, you got it. 3, here's 2, last one. Now, you might have to move your heels apart a little. Keep your neutral tail as you lower and lift the heels. Roll through those ankles. For 4, for 3, for 2, last one. Release and stand tall. Step out to your second position. Heels wide as shoulders. Slide down. Left hand on the bar. We're going to side bend over to the left. Inhale, reach. Exhale, stand. Inhale, reach. Exhale, stand. For 4, for 3. Here's 2. Really stretch the side body. Last one. And then we'll take it the other way. Set the humerus bone in the shoulder socket. Side bend to the right. Roll your weight open to the outside to the feet. For 5, and 4. Almost there. 3. Here's 2. Last one. Stand tall. Work your way back to parallel. And because my reindeer antlers are on, let's prance a little. Stay lifted away from the floor And lift your belly. And everything's very linear, front to back, not side to side. For 8, 7, 6, 5, keep going, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. All right. I have to remind my husband not to turn on the fireplace before I exercise. It's like 400 degrees in here. All right, we're gonna get into the calf muscles a little more. So bring your chair onto one side of you. All right, we're gonna start in a tight rope position. So we're gonna take our outside foot and place it in a line right in front of the inner foot, squeezing the inner thighs together. Let's stretch the outside arm overhead, shoulder into socket, belly connected as we lift and lower, lift and lower. Good. So this is not fast on purpose. I want you to really feel your way into your muscles. And I want you to try not to rock front to back. Try to keep it really up and down. For 5, for 4, 3, 2, last one. Now we're gonna put some more space between the feet. So they're still on that tightrope, but it's like a pace apart. Lift and lower. Your releve will not be as big. Try to feel equal weight in both feet. You're gonna find, for me, my back foot wants to take more of the weight. So I'm really trying to stay perched. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, release. Now we're gonna come to our 4th position. So the feet turn out, front heel matches front toe. Lift and lower. Yes. Feel like the bird. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Now hold it up, bring your hand to your hip. Lift that outside leg, tap it back, tap it forward. Tap it back, tap it forward. All the while the inside leg is holding up. Last one. Now take this hip, circle it once, twice, 3 times, release. Whew, other side. Okay, swivel your chair. Opposite foot comes forward. We start with the almost touching feet, outside arm up, lift and lower. Try to feel your whole posture, both sides of your body tall. For 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Now split your tightrope a little further apart. Again, lift and lower. Equal work in both legs. For 5, breathe 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now we come to our 4th position. Lose the arm. Choop, choop, choop. Little lightning bolt with the feet. Lift and lower. Breathe for 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Take that outside leg. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. For 4, and 3, 2, and 1. 3 big circles. 1, 2, and you're finished. Holy Moses. Face your chair. Stretch out those calves. Oh, reach your heart away from your heel. Holy Moses. Other side. I'm feeling that one. For 3, and 2. Last one. And release. Gorgeous. Okay. We're really sort of blasting out the legs here all at once. We're going to grab our block and we're going to work on the quadriceps now. Okay. You're ready for this? I think you are. All right, so you can face the back of your chair if you want. Just remember, it doesn't give you as much stability as the bar, obviously. Okay. So we're gonna start with the hardest thing first. Stay in parallel. We're gonna lift those heels. We're gonna bring the block, slide it down between the knees and the thighs. Sit up tall and pulse into it. All right, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, that's hard. Now stand up. Between the knees this time. We're gonna go down for 3, up for 1. Here we go. Sit back, 2, 3, stand. Now watch your tail. Don't go so low that you start to imprint your pelvis. Squeeze, 2, 3, and lift. Really parallel, 2, 3, and up. 2 more times, down, 2, you got this, 3, and up. 1 more time, down, 2, 3. Now reverse it. We go down, come up, 2, 3. Try not to rush it. Down, up, 2, 3. And all the while you're lifting, you're squeezing in. Down, up, 2, 3. Last 3, up, 2, 3. Last 2, up, 2, 3. You got it. Last 1, up, 2, 3. Land the heels. Release that work for a breath. Gorgeous. Now give yourself a little more space. Lift, bend your knees, and C-curve. So the spine is rounded forward. And then little plies. Squeeze in that block. Try to get some of the work to move from the quads into the glutes. For 8, 7, 6, 5, almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently release. Gorgeous. Come back in a little closer. Let's take the block between the ankles. Turn out in first. Lift up, lower down, and pulse. 1 inch down, 1 inch up. If you lose the block, it doesn't matter. Squeeze your heels together. You're almost there. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it here. Swish those hips side to side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. I remember last year we were glad that was a quick song. Stretch those calves. Excuse me, those quads a little bit. Woo! I'm loving it. Other side. Oh, you're gonna be so happy to hear we're getting into the arms, aren't you? Let's grab those weights. Biceps and shoulders. So we're gonna stand for this one. This is a longer song, so it's not gonna be fast. Take your time, really move through it. All right. Roll those shoulders back and down. I'm gonna have you stand in a first position, little heels together, toes apart. I said toes. If you have toes, put them apart. All right, so we're gonna sweep the arms up and back down. Palms face forward and back down. For 3, a little bit of a diagonal. For 2, not quite on a straight line. For 1, gorgeous. Now hold here, not too high. And we're gonna sort of squeeze the weight toward each other. So we're pushing through the palms for 8, 7, 6. Feel your lats, your bat wings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Now we're gonna turn the palms behind us. Ribs connected, shoulders back and down. Sweep up and down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. For 4 and 3. Here's 2, you got this. Last one. Now come only about halfway and push back. Squeeze your shoulders into your spine. Expand your chest a little. Feel your mid back for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Release that work. Roll your shoulders back and down. Get out of the neck. All right, we're gonna come to a little V and L-shaped arms. We're gonna hug the right arm and just hold it as we curl on the left. Good. So your right arm's working isometrically. The bicep muscles are holding that weight in place. And you'll have to decide which one you like doing better second, the hold or the pulse. Almost there. For 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold the right, squeeze the weight in your hand as you curl on the left. Nice to get out of the legs, isn't it? Well, not for long. You've got to lift your pelvic floor up to your diaphragm for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Release down. We're going to step wide. Just slide down that imaginary roll and curl as we plie. Pull up, lower down. Pull up, lower down. For 3 and 2. Last one. Now hold it down, curl up, and press overhead. For 8. You got this. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn it forward. Now we're going to combine it. We're going to curl, switch press. Curl, And if you want to stand up at the top. Curl, switch press. Just 3 more. Don't let the momentum of the weights take over. Last 2. Last 1. And release. Weights aside. Thank goodness, huh? All right, gorgeous. Okay. We're going to get into the inner and outer thighs a little. You have something to slide with, you'll want it nearby. But not under your foot yet, so just keep it a little in front of you. Light hand on the bar, you might not even need it. We're gonna start with a wide parallel squat. And as we come to stand, we're gonna lift the outside leg from the adductors. All right, so nice and wide parallel, 2 train tracks. Lift your heart, lift your belly. So sit back wide, push into the ground and lift. Sit back wide, push and lift. Now you want to sort of try to remember your spots each time that you're returning to with the heels. Heavy in the hips, push and lift. I'm reaching my arm overhead, sort of in opposition as I sit back. And I'm going to watch because already my hips want to turn out. For 4, for 3, here's 2, last 1. Now I'm gonna keep that inner leg right where it is, bring the slider under my outside leg. I'm in a little plie, and I'm gonna push and pull. And I sort of wanna generate some friction in this outside leg, extending and bending, not any further back than my hip. And I wanna get that inner leg gluteal system working. For 3, for 2, last 1, stand. Now we're going to turn out. And as we stand, we're going to take that outside leg and sweep it forward and back. Think inner thigh. Try not to turn. There's no rotation. No rotation. Keep your hips forward at knee. Pull from the inner thigh. Push from the outer thigh. For 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Gorgeous. Leave the slider there. Step out to your wide second. We're going to come up and lift in the crossbody, sit in second. So you don't have to releve. You can just squeeze your inner thighs together. You can try the slider with this. The danger here is if the slider gets ahead of you here, you could kind of pull a muscle, so be careful. For 3, for 2, last 1. Good, now hold that second position. Little pulses. Squeeze your glutes together for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push that slider ahead of you. In your second position, little walks forward and back. You got this. Start with your other foot this time. 4 little creeps forward, 4 little creeps back. One more time, beginning with each leg. Yes. Last time on my other side. I'm staying in it. You got this. And then we'll stand and switch sides. Nice job, guys. All right. So I got my slider at the ready, but not yet. Wide parallel with an outside leg lift. I'm going to sit back, stand and lift. Sit back equally into both feet, stand and lift. Maybe stretch the arm ahead of me. And then down through the legs as I find my full posture. And it's as if I'm beginning this leg lift right here when I stand. Resisting the floor. For 4, 3, 2, last 1. Now I'm going to use that slider in my parallel, sitting down chest high to push out and in. Relying on this working leg. You got it. For 5, 4, create some friction. 3, you got it. 2, last 1. Now stand up. Find your first position, take that outside leg. Push and pull with the inner thigh. It's a little semicircle. Almost there. Squeeze those glutes for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. If you want to slide to second for your crossbody, go ahead, or remove that slider. Be really careful here. Stand into your standing leg. Almost there for 4, And 3, 2, last one, release. Bye-bye, slider. Oh, I'm throwing things. Don't worry about me. All right. Let's grab our weights for this next part. We're gonna start off, put a bunch of things together. And actually, I know I said bye-bye slider, but I think I want you to use it. If you feel comfortable using your slider, great. Okay, so we're gonna hinge forward at the hips, so this is what it looks like. Little squat. And as we take this leg outside, we're gonna alternately row the back. So this is just what we just did standing, but we're adding some weights. And you wanna really squeeze the shoulder into the spine at the top. Almost there for 5 or 4. Here's 3, last 2, last 1. Turn your palms forward, come up to stand. We're gonna lunge back and curl and then stand. Bending both knees, coming to stand. If you don't trust your slider, you don't need it. You can step back and in. All right, keep it going for 4, for 3. Here's 2, last 1. Let's pause and switch sides. So start with the lunge back. Here we go. Nice parallel leg, squeeze your glutes together so your knee doesn't roll in and out. Exhale to stand. Remember, with or without your slider, this works. 4 more times. And 3, 2, and 1. Slider still on the opposite foot. We're gonna bend our knees and hinge forward. We're gonna slide out. And as we pull in, we hug the weight up toward the ribs. That's it. Create some friction. Find your glutes. For 5, for 4. Here's 3, and 2. Last one, release that slider. Stay in your hinge here. Soften your elbows and squeeze shoulders to spine. Nice long neck. No arch in that low back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach the weights in front of you. Stand. Bend the knees, flat back forward. Stand. Inhale down. Exhale up. Resist the floor on your deadlift. Keep your gaze up. Stop when you feel your back start to round. Lift from the hamstrings, glutes, and low back. Almost there for 3. And 2. Last 1. Now keep it down. Bring the weights by your hips. Alternately press. 1 palm for the ceiling. Lift the belly away from those thighs. Try not to swing. Try not to slap yourself in the bottom. Try not to round forward. For 4, 3, 2, release. Gorgeous job. Release those weights. Holy guacamole. All right, we're gonna get the heart rate up a tiny bit before we finish on the mat. We're running out of time, frankly. Okay, chair to one side. We're gonna start with running. So bend one knee, keep it really light and quick. Think of it as just a little cardiovascular treat. You like how I said that? Yeah, I don't know if you're feeling like it's a treat right now, but I know you love me anyway. All right, light and prancy. If you want to dance, I don't even care if your hips go side to side right now. Gosh, this is recording. How dare I? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn and angle it on that chair, outside leg back. Knee to elbow. Yes. You got this. Keep that standing leg bent and pulling from your belly. We're just trying to get the heart rate up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep moving as you move the chair in front of you. Here's your free dance. I'm gonna move this. All right, sit nice and wide. We're gonna sit in side bend. Sit, side bend. Get that breath moving. Oh, so grateful for our lungs and heart doing their thing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Little fast heels. I'm barely holding onto my chair. Don't use that as a cheat. Everything's shaking. It's so good for 8, 7, as long as my computer doesn't shake off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn to the side. Little lunge. Pull it in. You got this. Almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up to stand and prance. If you feel more stable holding on to the back of the chair, go for it. 3 more 8 counts. 2 more 8 counts. 6, 4, 2, 1 more 8 count. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Done. All right. Get ready to hit the mat to finish. Okay. We're going to start with plank work on the seat of the chair with the slider. Because frankly, if we have the slider, I'm going to ask you to use it. All right. So I'm going to make sure my chair is somewhat stable. And try to prop it up against something. Actually, I'll go right here. As you can still see me. And I think you can. All right. Get my plank song on. All right. So hands are strong on top of the chair. Actually, you know what? Let's go to elbows. Elbows on the chair if it's comfortable for you. We're going to step the leg back that doesn't have the slider and then the leg with the slider. I'm going to fight really hard. This is about my abs and my center. To keep my hips level. I'm going to take this right leg, I'm going to sweep it out, pull the knee in and push out, then pull the knee wide and push out. So it's a straight leg sweep to the side, a knee up the center, a knee toward the elbow. Straight leg to the side, knee up the center, knee toward the elbow. 2 more, straight leg to the side, knee to the center, knee to the elbow. 1 more, straight to the side, knee to the center, knee to the elbow. Slowly switch sides. Check to see if your hips lifted. We want to avoid that. Shoulders right over elbows. Sway to the left. Knee up the center. Knee toward the elbow. Straight leg left. Pull center. Pull to the elbow. 3 more times. Open it up. Slide it forward. Slide it on the diagonal. Last 2. Straight. Pull up the middle. Pull up the side. Last 1. Straight. Pull. Pull. Gorgeous. Walk your feet in. Shift your weight back. That's it. Okay, we're not quite done. No more slider though. Palms to the chair. Walk your feet back. Gorgeous. Stay here and breathe. Lift the belly. Now I'm going to take the right leg behind us. Little lifts to the ceiling. For 8, 7, 6, 5, you got it. 4, 3, 2, lift it up. Now bend the knee and curl it in. Stretch behind. 2 more, curl it in. Stretch behind. 1 more, curl it in. Stretch back, put the foot down. Last side. Find your plank. 8 little gluteal lifts on the left. Not too high because I don't want to change my back. 7, 8. Bend my knee, curl around the heart and lift up. 2 more times, bend and curl. Lift straight up. Last time, bend and curl. Lift back. Finish. Oh, good job, you guys. All right, we have one last working song. I'm going to invite you, before you come to the mat, to bring your chair to the top of it for stretching. Let's grab our weights. And I'm kind of keeping everything nearby, so I'm ready to stretch. Okay. Let's come to the mat. I'm going to put my yoga block between my knees. because sort of keeps me honest, keeps everything engaged. We'll see if the reindeer antlers last on this one too. So with knees bent and weight in hands, I'm going to roll down to the mat. I'm going to roll back up, punch across the body. I'm going to roll down, roll back up, opposite arm first, punch across the body. Roll down. If I let my head go all the way, my antlers come off. Sorry, guys, punch across. Roll down, roll up. Make that back round and really squeeze on that block. One more time to each side. Roll down and up, punch, punch. One last time. Roll down, roll up, punch, punch. This time, I'm going to roll down just till my shoulder blades touch the mat. And then I'm going to climb up and across the body like I'm climbing a rope. You got this. 4, 8, 7, 6. It's our last push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now rest your head while you remove the block. Oh, look at that. So fancy. Tuck your tail under and bring your legs up in the air. Good. Curl your shoulders up. Reach your right leg and then left leg. Start with a bicycle. And then if you want, reach the opposite way up to the opposite knee, but up to the ceiling. A little rocking from shoulder to shoulder, a little bicycling with the legs. If it's too much, just fight to keep the weights up. For 8, 7, 6, almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring the legs down. Stretch your right leg out. Reach the weights to the outside of that right knee. Pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Almost there. Stretch over and across for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very last thing. Toes together. Maybe just one weight. Knees apart. Reach through the space and pulse up. For last 12, 11. This is fully it. 10, 9. Long necks. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring everything to the mat. Finished. Woohoo! All right. That woke me up. I'm ready for the day. Ready to shovel a foot of snow. It's good. It's good. Okay. So bring the soles of your feet together just for a moment and open up the fronts of your arms and your shoulders, whether that's cactus or all the way up overhead or even just palms to the ceiling. Start to draw your breath in a little deeper with a little more conscious effort. And then squeeze the soles of your feet together, activating the glutes a little and allowing for a protective opening in the front of the hips. Oh yes, this is what we needed, or I needed. Hopefully you too. One more breath here. Gorgeous job. All right, now bring your feet a little closer and into parallel. If you have a healthy sacrum, you're gonna just lift and drop the sacrum into the mat. This doesn't feel good to you. Instead, you can lift and place a block under the hips for supported bridge. This vibration into the pelvis, if it feels good for you, is great for bones. A little bit of a release for the back muscles as well. One more breath here. And release. Gorgeous job. All right, we're gonna take the right heel over the left knee in a figure 4. My left heel is still aligned with my left glutes. We've done this before, but I really love it. I'm gonna push into the left foot and lift the hips equally to the ceiling. So you're in a pigeon bridge. We wanna start to use this position to open the hip here. One more breath. And then land the hips. You wanna stretch your arms from your shoulders. You wanna keep the space between your inner thighs as your legs twist to the left. And you wanna keep going until your right foot lands on the floor. And then you're gonna play with it a little because if you open the knee away from you, you'll find the stretch a little more into the front of the hip and maybe the psoas muscle. See what works for you. If not, maybe you want to really close the gap and have a deeper rotation. Play with it. Breathe into it. As long as you're not feeling pain or sharpness or zinginess, you're probably pretty safe. One more breath. And then exhale to come back to center. Feet to the mat. Sacral release again. Little strum just for 3, 2, 1. Now align the right heel with the right glute. Left heel drapes over. And imagine your pelvis is sort of wide and flat before you push the foot into the ground and lift the hips. Yeah, that way you're balanced. You're pretty balanced front to back body. You're not dipping or rotating to the left. You can also flex this left foot. That might help. One more breath here, just kind of alerting the hip. Hey, we're trying to stretch you. Lower to the mat, keeping that space between the legs. They go to the right till my left foot lands on the floor. You can gaze at the ceiling or back at your left palm. And I'm going to try to open my inner thigh away from my body. Stay for 3 and 2. Last one. Oh, that feels nice. And center. Beautiful. We're going to come into happy baby. You could use a block under your head or your hips, or even use the chair to help you a little bit. I really like to have my hips elevated just a little bit. It helps me keep my tail down and flat. So I'm going to split my knees apart, turning out at the hips. I'm going to stack the heels over the knees and let them sort of fall softly toward my armpits. And the last thing I want to try to do is relax the shoulders, and that's another benefit of the block. I'm flexing through the soles of my feet a little, breathing into my face, into the tightness of my hips, which I'm sure is just always wanting to return this crazy year. One more big breath in and out here. In my mind's eye, I'm imagining those tight places just softening, filling with breath and lightness and length, filling with space. One more in and out here. I'm going to gently release my feet to either the chair or the floor, removing that block. Ah, lovely. I'm going to roll up and swivel around. I want to be prone, but I want to be facing my chair. Okay. So I'm going to split the feet, roll the front of the hips open, make a nice wide cactus or breaststroke prep, and lift up. From here, once I have extension in the upper part of the spine, I can decide if I want it to continue, or if I'd rather come to Sphinx, or if I want to even use the legs of the chair to assist in my fullest spinal extension. Just relax your glutes a little and make sure that you're not compressing that low back. One more breath. And then gently lower down with wide feet, just windshield wiper side to side. Gorgeous. And release. We're going to press our way up to our hands and knees. I'm going to put my hands on the chair and find a flat back. And I know I do this stretch a lot, but it's because I love it with the chair. So I'm going to take my right arm and stretch it through to grab the left chair leg and then twist the shoulders left. If it feels like too much for you, just put your left palm on the floor. It doesn't have to stay in the seat. Try not to arch your low back too much. Twist and open the back of the shoulder. So you're sort of pulling with the right hand, pushing with the left, and then gently release and switch sides. Left arm threads through. I turn to face you. Peekaboo. Super rhymy. One more breath or two here. I push in my right hand to pull in my left, and coming back through center. If you want to take a quick little cat stretch here, shell stretch here, go for it. Or child's pose before we come up to kneeling. All right. So we're going to step one foot forward, come into a lunge. If this doesn't feel good on the knee for anybody, you could lift. You could come a little closer and bend the knee and hover it. What we really want is just to sort of sling the pelvis forward and open that hip up. One more breath here. And then we'll take the that same leg that was forward, take it out to the side and sit back. So I'm trying to open up my inner thigh a little bit. Just one more breath here. Back through center. We'll switch it up, opposite leg forward. Sometimes you have to rearrange a little to find the stretch in the hip here without being perched on the kneecap. I'm sort of forward of that and protective. One more breath here. And then I take that front leg forward and sit back a little bit, trying to stretch into my inner thigh. Staying for 2 more breaths. And then gently lifting up. Hands to the seat of the chair. I'll tuck my toes. Send my weight up and back to a modified downward facing dog. Really trying to stretch the backs of the legs from the tailbone all the way down, from those sitting bones down to the heels. One more big breath here. And then gently releasing. I'm going to just slide back so you can see me. I'll bring my right foot forward onto the chair. I'm going to bend my left leg as I hinge my heart toward my right knee. First, the toes pull up tall, and I try to stretch right into the hamstrings. And then I'm going to push the toes down and away from me. Be careful of my knee joint here. Opening the front of the ankle and shifting the stretch in the hamstrings a little. One more breath. And release, other side. So, bending the standing leg, hinging the heart forward, toes to the sky first. You could always put your foot on a block instead, or even on the floor. And then I'll press down through the toes. I'm going to keep my back long for 3 and 2. The last one. And release. Coming up to stand. Take foot in hand for a quadricep stretch. You could always find your foot into your band if this was too intense for you. I'm going to bend my support knee, tuck my tail under just a hair. Hold on to something if you need it. One more breath and release, shifting the weight to the other leg. Squeezing those inner thighs together. And you can increase the stretch by either tucking the tail or pressing the hip forward or sliding the knee back. So many options. One more breath here. And then gently release. Breathe your arms overhead. Little pat as you stretch the triceps. Bring your ears over your shoulders and your chin slightly down. And then a little side bend so that we elongate the whole side of the body. And release. Other way. So use your opposite arm to elongate the back of the stretching arm. Pull your ribs down. Pull your ears back and your chin slightly down. Little side bend if you wish. Gorgeous. And gently release. Bring those heels together, toes apart. Sweep your arms up overhead and settle the shoulders onto the back. With a nice long connected belly, lift the heels for your final balance. Carefully lower with control. And inhale, high release for the heart. Woo, that was a good job, you guys. Awesome. Thank you.